Hello internet, Dominic here, and today we're going to be taking a look at my top 5 favourite A Song of Ice and Fire fan theories. Now I should probably make clear that while I don't actually subscribe to all of these theories I'm about to talk about, these are the ones that nonetheless fascinate me to no end. And it should be obvious that I'm certainly not the originator of any of these theories, I just don't have the imagination required unfortunately. And I just want to say that I won't be touching on the whole R plus L equals J thing because it's been done to death, and while it hasn't been officially confirmed, let's be honest, it has. Anyway, let's get started. A plus J equals C and J. Cersei and Jaime Targaryen? What? Now while there is for some reason a much more popular theory that it is in fact Tyrion that is a secret Targaryen, if you ask me, the Jaime and Cersei theory holds a lot more water and is a lot more interesting thematically than the Tyrion one. You see, the theory goes that while Tywin Lannister's wife Joanna was at court in King's Landing, she had an affair with the mad King Aerys Targaryen, and that the offspring of that siring are none other than Jaime and Cersei Lannister. Now it should be noted that it's unclear whether or not this quote unquote affair was consensual on the part of Joanna. The chief literary evidence for this theory comes from former Kingsguard member Sir Barristan Selmy, whom when asked by Daenerys if her father loved another woman more than his queen replies, "Not loved, mayhaps wanted is a better word. But it was only kitchen gossip, the whispers of washerwomen and stable boys." But Selmy also says to Dany that Prince Aerys as a youth, he was taken with a certain lady of Casterly Rock, a cousin of Tywin Lannister, and of course we know that Tywin and Joanna were in fact first cousins. He also blabs about how, when she and Tywin wed, your father drank too much wine at the wedding feast and was heard to say that it was a great pity that the Lord's right to the first night had been abolished. A drunken jape no more, but Tywin Lannister was not a man to forget such words. This is confirmed in the companion book The World of Ice and Fire, which reads, "It has been reliably reported however that King Aerys took unwanted liberties with Lady Joanna's person during her bedding ceremony to Tywin's displeasure." Adding to the suspicion, not long after Joanna's wedding to Tywin, she was dismissed from court by Queen Rhaella Targaryen, ending her service at King's Landing, and so she returned to Casterly Rock. Now again, in The World of Ice and Fire it says, "While Queen Rhaella turned a blind eye towards most of her husband's infidelities, she did not approve when it concerned one of her own ladies. Joanna was one of many ladies to be sent away from court. She departed for Casterly Rock at once and seldom visited King's Landing afterwards." Now all of this wonderfully ambiguous information has led to the theory that perhaps not all of Tywin's children are in fact his, and while as I said before the popular theory alludes to Tyrion being a secret Targaryen, it seems to me at least that the twins would prove to be the more likely. For one, there are clear parallels in Jaime and Cersei that can be seen as Targaryen traits, the incest between the two for one being chief among them. Let's also not forget Cersei's burgeoning fascination with pyromancy and her tendency to be a wee bit mad, like many Targaryen rulers before her. Also, wouldn't it be more interesting from a cosmically ironic standpoint if Tywin's only true child was the one he reviled and not the children upon whom he has so fervently placed the burden of his beloved legacy? After all, he and Joanna were first cousins, and as they weren't Targaryens, perhaps there is a higher chance that their only true child would suffer a deformity due to being so closely related themselves. Now, I should note that Joanna was sent away from King's Landing 3 years before the birth of Jaime and Cersei, but it is written that she did visit the capital in that time, if only infrequently. Anyway, it's all conjecture, but that's the fun, right? Are Jaime and Cersei secret Targaryens? Comment below and tell me how wrong you think I am. Try to be constructive if possible. I genuinely want to know what you guys think. Bran is Bran. Now of course we all know Bran Stark, and yes, Bran is obviously Bran, but what this theory posits is that Bran is not only Bran, but that he is in fact Bran? Wait, let me start again. This theory suggests that everybody's favourite Hodor riding green seeing kind of time traveller is in fact the legendary hero Bran the Builder, who is said to have erected the wall 8 millennia ago. Funnily enough, Bran was actually named after Bran the Builder, which would make his arc the oft described self-fulfilling prophecy. Now I'll be the first to admit that this theory has more holes in it than a donut factory, but it is a pretty fun one nonetheless. There are a lot of variables theorised into how this one actually works, but the basic gist is that the Bran that we all know and love uses his children of the forest / tree spying skills to walk back into the body of somebody who lived 8,000 years prior to the events of the novels, and helps to build not only the wall but Winterfell, and also is responsible for founding House Stark. This isn't to say that our Bran changes time by going back and creating the persona of Bran the Builder. After all,
the past is already written, the ink is dry.
It just means that in doing this, Bran has already done what we might see him do in the books, that he has done it countless times before and will do it countless times again, that time is an infinite loop and his travelling through it is a constant that facilitates that loop rather than alters it. Here, I'll let Daniel Faraday from Lost explain.
You cannot change anything. You can't. Even if you tried to, wouldn't work.
Why not?
Time, it's like a street, right? We can move forward on that street, we can move in reverse, but we cannot ever create a new street. If we try to do anything different, we will fail every time. Whatever happened, happened.
This passage from A Clash of Kings offers a little bit of fun foreshadowing to accompany the theory. Duran would have none of it. A 7th castle he raised, most massive of all. Some said the children of the forest helped him build it, shaping the stones with magic. Others claim that a small boy told him what he must do, a boy who would grow to be Bran the Builder. Now this theory has many offshoots, some of which suggest that Bran may in fact be the legendary last hero, or that he may be all the notable Brans throughout history, or that a past version of himself is the one who trained the Bloodraven Brynden Rivers, who of course in turn trains the Bran of our present. It's all a bit trippy and I get a nosebleed if I think about it too much, but let me know what you guys think down below. Is Bran Bran, or is he just, Bran? R plus L equals J and M? Oh god, not more secret Targaryens. And you said you wouldn't be doing the R plus L equals J theory. I know, I'm sorry, but this theory unfortunately only works if you assume that R plus L equals J is canon. There's just no avoiding it. Now for the two people out there who don't know, the R plus L equals J theory posits that Jon Snow is not the son of Eddard Stark and some random woman as previously thought, but that he is in fact the child of Ned's sister Lyanna Stark and Prince Rhaegar Targaryen. Now we know that after the whole Tower of Joy debacle, Ned finds his sister lying in a bed of blood. The theory states that the blood is from childbirth and that the child that she gave birth to was Jon. But what if Lyanna gave birth to twins? Remember the guy in Game of Thrones, the TV show, who saved Ned's life by stabbing the most awesome swordsman that ever lived, Sir Arthur Dayne, in the back? That guy was Howland Reed, and Howland Reed is the father of Jojen and Meera. He's also the only person from the entire Tower of Joy incident that is still alive, yet suspiciously we're yet to hear from or see him in the book or show. Now, his absence leads to a whole host of wild and wacky theories in themselves, but this one suggests that when Lyanna died in childbirth, Eddard took the boy and named him Jon, and that Howland took the girl and named her Meera. It's all a bit Star Wars. Well, at least according to Theon Greyjoy actor Alfie Allen, who said as much when questioned in reference to the Jon Snow parentage situation, but that's hardly proof of anything now, is it? Despite that, I have to admit that this one has elements of wish fulfillment all over it. Although I'm convinced that Meera has a much bigger part to play than has thus far been let on, I'm not sure that this is it. What do you guys think? Comment below and let me know. The Night of the Laughing Tree. I'm really happy that I just told you all about Howland Reed, because now I don't have to repeat myself explaining who he is, as he figures pretty prominently into this theory as well. And I just want to say that I love this theory and wholeheartedly believe it to be true, because that's what I want to believe and you can't stop me, so there. Anyway, this theory goes that back before everything had completely gone to shit and the Mad King Aerys Targaryen still ruled on the Iron Throne, there was a great tourney held at the castle of Harrenhal. At this tourney, a Crannogman, widely believed to have been Howland Reed, was being bullied by 3 squires. To his rescue came Ned's sister Lyanna Stark, who shouted indignantly that Howland was her father's bannerman. She then proceeded to scatter the bullies, beating them with a tawny sword. Afterwards, she took Howland back to her tent and cleaned his wounds and bound them with linen, and then introduced him to her brothers, Brandon Stark, the Wild Wolf, Eddard Stark, the Quiet Wolf, and Benjen Stark, the Pup. They then all went to a feast, and as we now know, Eddard and Howland would go on to become fast friends. Now, during the feast, Lyanna pointed out the squires who had bullied Howland to her brothers. They were of House Hague, House Blount, and House Frey. Benjen Stark offered Howland a horse and armour to seek out his vengeance in the tourney, but he was paralysed with indecision. As though his pride demanded revenge, he feared losing and making a fool of himself and bringing shame to his people, and so the matter seemed done. The next day the tournament started, and the knights of those 3 squires each won a place among champions in the jousting arena. However, late on in the afternoon, a mystery knight appeared, short of stature, with mismatched armour and a shield blazoned with the image of a white weirwood tree with a laughing red face. The mystery knight would go on to challenge and defeat all 3 of the knights to whom the bullies squired, winning custody over their horses and armour. The small folk cheered for this mysterious knight of the laughing tree. When the defeated trio of knights attempted to ransom back their stuff, the knight told them that they ought to teach honour to their rude squires, and they did. The mystery knight, after attracting unwanted attention from the likes of a then young Lord Robert Baratheon, vanished, and King Aerys Targaryen sent his son Rhaegar to search for him. Or her. You see, the popular theory is that the knight was in fact none other than the she-wolf Lyanna Stark, and that Rhaegar's search for her may have in fact resulted in their first true meeting, something we all know would not end well for everybody else. Was Lyanna the Knight of the Laughing Tree? Let me know what you think down below. Who will win the Game of Thrones? It had to be, didn't it? The theory to end all theories, the one that none of us can truly answer with any more validity than another. Who will win the Game of Thrones? Or will there even be a throne left to win? Now, I'm not going to get into all the theories surrounding each of the candidates on this one, as I've heard pretty well reasoned and comprehensive arguments about nearly every major character, from Daenerys to Jon to Tyrion to Littlefinger. There is some incredible stuff out there, and there are some truly wonderful tinfoil theories as well that I urge all of you to seek out and discover for yourselves, as there are just too many good ones for me to list here. But if you really want to know what this idiot thinks, I'd actually have to cop out here and say that I don't know who will win the Game of Thrones, or rather, I don't think it's important who wins. Now, I don't think that the crown or the throne will be destroyed or anything, but I do think that its significance will be severely diminished as we see an end to feudalism in Westeros and the rise of something perhaps more akin to a republic. However, if history has taught us anything, cough, French Revolution, cough, it's that the dismantling of an established monarchy is rarely a smooth process. So if that theory were to occur, it could mean a rocky road to peace in the Seven Kingdoms. Oh, I forgot about the army of ice zombies that are all going to murder everything. Forget what I said before, everybody's going to die. That's right, they're all going to die. Everybody you love, Jon, Daenerys, Tyrion, it doesn't matter, they're all going to die. They're all going to get deaded in the face by the others, or the White Walkers, or whatever you want to call them. And the only one that's going to survive is going to be Hot Pie, and they're all going to bow to Hot Pie because Hot Pie is going to make hot pies, and the White Walkers will have never had hot pies before, and they're going to be like, Hot Pie makes really nice hot pies, and Hot Pie is going to sit on the throne, and he'll give hot pies to all of his subjects, and that's the end. Hot Pie wins. But in the very slim chance that that doesn't happen, let me know down below who you guys think is going to win the Game of Thrones. Thanks so much everybody for taking the time out of your day to listen to me ramble on about this world that I love so much. Please like and subscribe if you want more videos like this. I realised in making this that there are like another 10 theories that I really want to talk about, so if you really want to see me make a video about those, let me know down below and I will get on it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Check out the other content on my channel, as I have a ton more A Song of Ice and Fire / Game of Thrones related content and a bunch of other stuff as well, anything to do with nerd culture really. I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you again soon.